All right, let's bring in House Speaker Mike Johnson for more on this. Mr. Speaker, good to spend time with you this afternoon. I do want to point out, though, that when the Democrats rushed to your office, it was in support of having Adelita Grijalva, the new congresswoman-elect from Arizona, sworn in. Here's what she said during that melee.
Let's just be really clear. If I were a Republican, I would have already been sworn in. That's right. And that is not acceptable. They're afraid of me signing and being the 218th signer to the Epstein petition.
So she says that you're afraid of her being the 218th signer to the Epstein petition to release the files, that if she were a Republican, you would have sworn her in. What do you say?
I say, bless her heart, she's a representative-elect. She doesn't know how it works around here. We're going to give her the oath of office as soon as we get back to regular session, as soon as Chuck Schumer and the Democrats vote to reopen the government. We've got a lot to do here. They're the ones holding it up. What Rep. Grijalva doesn't understand is that there's a certain tradition and process that we engage in here to administer the oath. My colleague, Representative Julia Letlow from Louisiana, was elected in a special election under very similar circumstances, and Nancy Pelosi was Speaker at the time. She took 25 days to administer the oath to Julia Letlow. Nobody threw a fit. Nobody, engaged in a publicity stunt, because Nancy Pelosi was doing that on the legislative calendar. I'm doing exactly the same thing. It has nothing to do with Epstein. That's absurd. It's a moot point. The House Oversight Committee is digging into the Epstein files and releasing the documents almost in real time, 34,000 documents so far. You got some of the biggest bulldogs in Congress, Republicans and Democrats, who are dialed in on that. And that work is going on around the clock, even while Congress is closed, the government is shut down because of Chuck Schumer's antics.
Speaker Johnson, it is Sandra. Good of you to be here with us today. President Trump yesterday said that he's going to have a list on Friday of Democrat programs that will be cut as a result of this. Listen.
We're closing them up, and we're not going to let them come back. The Democrats are getting killed, and we're going to have a list of them on Friday, closing up some of the most egregious, socialist, semi-communist, probably not full communist, we're saving that for New York, but semi-communist programs, and we're closing them up.
So is it fair to say, Speaker Johnson, that the longer this shutdown goes on, the more President Trump and Republicans get what they always wanted anyway?
Well, that's an objective fact. I mean, I was with the president for 2 hours in the Oval Office last night. We talked about this at great length. He's in an unenviable position, and it's not one he relishes, right? He wanted the government to stay open. I was in the Oval Office with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries and Leader Thune weeks ago when he pleaded with them not to do this. But since they have made the choice, okay, they have handed the keys to the kingdom to the president, and he is going to look with the lens that he must to evaluate what are the most essential programs, policies, personnel in the federal government. We're going to look at that as limited government conservatives very differently than, say, a Joe Biden or Kamala Harris would. But that is Chuck Schumer's decision. He is the one that is exacting all of this, and by the way, causing great pain to the American people, paychecks being withheld, services not being provided, and all the essential things that we've talked about.
But, Mr. Speaker, there is every I think, belief that opportunity to shrink government and cut programs may not go too far, because a federal judge in San Francisco, Susan Ilston, a Clinton appointee, said at the opening of a court case this morning that was brought by employee unions, federal government employee unions, that she is inclined to grant a TRO against those what are called RIFs, reductions in force. So is that going to blunt the effort by the White House and the president to cut staff?
I don't think so. You lost me at federal judge in San Francisco. Okay, obviously we're not going to get a fair hearing there. It will be appealed, and it will be on a rocket docket, I am sure. The White House is dug in. They will do what is required of them, and that is to triage federal spending, because Chuck Schumer and the Democrats decided to turn it off. We had a press conference this morning, you all saw on your broadcast, where we pointed out, for example, the troops, they would not have been paid today, except that President Trump made heroic measures in the executive branch to help us cover them. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats had already voted to that point 8 times to block the paychecks of troops. And by the way, Capitol Police, who are up here defending them without pay. It is so frustrating and so unnecessary, and they need to stop it.
Okay, so this was Hakeem Jeffries. Just a short time ago, I believe our team just cut this, weighing in on the layoffs of federal workers. Let's play this out and we'll get your reaction.
It's disturbing that they're using hardworking federal civil servants as political pawns to continue their toxic approach to undermining the ability of the federal government to deliver services effectively and efficiently to the American people.
I'll get your reaction to that as I also note that just came across our desk, Mr. Speaker, that you have agreed to a debate with Jeffries on C-SPAN at an unknown date and time. Is that true?
I'll debate Hakeem Jeffries anywhere, anytime, as soon as we get the government open. He's engaging in political theater and stating absurd things. What he just said is absurd. It is the Democrats who voted to shut the government down. Look at the record. 9 times now, the Republicans in Congress, House and Senate, have voted to open the government, and 9 times Democrats in Congress have voted to close it. All but one. Hakeem Jeffries led the effort in the House. We had this debate on the government shutting down on the House floor. We won. We passed the bill in the House, and we sent it to the Senate. That's where the ball is now. The ball is in the Senate's court, and the Schumer shutdown is causing real pain, and it needs to stop. We need 5 more sensible Democrats in the Senate who care more about the American people than giving health care back to illegal aliens and all the other absurd things that they put in their $1.5 trillion counter proposal. I am so frustrated by this. We all are. We have to serve the American people, and it is Hakeem and the Democrats that are making that not happen right now.
So we just got word that Judge Ilston, the district judge in San Francisco, has granted a nationwide TRO. That happened again. So I imagine you're going to be on a rocket docket headed to the Ninth Circuit on all of this. Just one point before we go. Democrats keep saying this is about Republicans wanting to take health care away from Americans by not including in the continuing resolution an extension of the enhanced Obamacare tax credits. But there's a couple of things at play here. First of all, every day that the government stays closed is a day that you don't get to negotiate with Democrats on that, because you've said, open the government, we'll negotiate. And you get closer and closer to that November 1st deadline when the insurance companies start setting their rates.
Very ironic, isn't it? John, you pointed out the exact fact about all this that the media and the Democrats are trying to obscure. This was a December 31 policy issue that was going to be debated and decided in October and November. That was always the case. They bootstrapped it and tried to pretend it had something to do with the September stopgap measure to keep the government operating so that we could have those debates. It is, they're just moving the ball around, trying to confuse the American people. But as I noted this morning at my press conference, the American people are not foolish. They understand exactly what's happening here and the game that's being played. And what is the motivation? Don't lose this either. Chuck Schumer is doing this because he's afraid of the Marxist rise in the Democrat Party and that he's going to get a personal challenge for his Senate reelect. That is 100% what this is about. He did a 180-degree about face from what he voted on in March of this year, just 6 or 7 months ago.
Can you make
he's doing it for himself.
Can you make a 5-second prediction here for us? How long does this go on?
I hope it ends soon. I don't think it will end before the Hate America rally on the mall on Saturday, where all the Marxists and Antifa people and all the people who hate Trump and hate America will be there. After that, though, I hope there's a couple of sensible Democrats who will come to their senses over in the Senate and vote the right way to do the right thing that they have always done every time in the past in their career. They need to do it now for the people, for the American people.
Yeah, I guess a lot of people are saying that if they were to open the government, it would take a lot of the wind out of the sails of that thing coming up this weekend. Speaker, as always, thanks for spending time with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right.